How's it going, everybody? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank each and every one of you for coming. Well, it's not wet and cold, so that means it's halfway warm and windy. So what is today's video about? Well, specifically, it is about the red car. Take care of it, but you see it. It is that time again. But that is not mainly what this video is about. So let me get to it and I'll show you exactly what it is about. Alright, now got lots of little things to do today. I've got to replace one of the water lines to the Tahoe windshield wipers today. I've got to change the oil on this beast today, but mainly what this video is about is checking the catch can. I haven't checked it since I put it on there because this car doesn't get driven that much. My black car gets driven mostly, and when I'm not driving it, I'm driving the Tahoe. This is more of a fun car, or just when I want to drive a car. But I bought it specifically to be a backup, so when that one, I do have issues out of it, I'll have something to drive. So today we're pulling maintenance on this bad boy, but mostly it's about the Elite Engineering catch can. Now I'm not going to sit here and show you exactly how to change the oil. I showed you that in the video up there, and I also showed you the installation of a cool product. It's the valvomax oil drain system. I'll also put it either up there or in the link, because sometimes it won't let me put them from the same playlist, so you can see what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, why I'm doing it, and then we'll get back to the catch can. Now, like I said, I'm not going to show you exactly how to change the oil in it. You can go back and check those videos out. But one thing, well, two things you do want to do anytime you drain oil or any fluid, like if you're draining the radiator, you want to take the cap off. If you're doing the oil, you want to do the same thing. The reason for that is the oil and the liquids are in the bottom, and you got all the air up top. Well, if you take the plug and stuff out of the bottom, it's just going to go bloop, 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 instead of a smooth flow. Because for it to flow, it has to have air. So what you want to do is you want to take the oil cap off, right? Set it where you won't lose it. Pull the dipstick out, and you're good to go. All right, here we are under the car. All we need is a couple drain pans, and in this case I just got a couple of litter pans and the magic hose. Where did it go? Right here. Why do I need this, you may ask? Because I have the Drain Max, the Valvoline Drain Max, or valvomax drain system installed on this car, and it's right here. All I have to do is unscrew this dust cap, right? All I have to do is undo, and I hope this wind ain't bothering you too bad. Kind of got the microphone head. Undo that, take that off, lay it down on the ground. We won't lose it. I'll put it right there. Get your pan ready. See which way it's going to run. It's going to run that way. So we just adjust the pan accordingly. And then we just screw this on. And watch the magic happen. Make sure we're in the pan. And just screw this on. Look at the oil coming out. Isn't that something? No mess. Our hands don't get dirty. Nothing. Look at that. Clean as a whistle. Now we just give it a few minutes. Watch the pan. Make sure it doesn't overflow, because these pans are not 6, 7, 8 quart capacity. I think one's like 3 and the other one's like 5 or 6. So if I'm not careful, one of them will overrun. But when it comes time, all I have to do is back that off a little bit to where it stops. Swap out the pans. Alright, as you can see, there's no more oil draining through it except for a few drops here and there. So now we can just take it off. And as we take it off, the valve stem will actually seal it back. You might get a drop or two of oil out of it, but nothing major. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a second. Dang, this wind is awful today. Take that and put it over out of the way. And you can see it leaves a little bit of oil up there, but nothing a rag can't take care of, because threads need a little bit of lubrication on it anyway. Wipe it off best you can. Take your cap, which as you can see has a O-ring in it. Put it on there and just tighten it back down. You don't want to over tighten it, you just want to snug it. Wipe it off, that way you know that you don't have any leaks there, and we can move on to the next step. Alright, we got all the old oil in that jug. I could have saved it and put it in the other ones, but like I said, that container there and the other litter pan will not catch all the oil. Both of those will be full, so what I did was I had this empty kit jug, filled that one up. Well, I filled the blue one up first, poured it in here, put that one under there while I was pouring the blue one in here, and then I could stick that one back under there just in case I needed it. And I didn't need it. All the oil's in here except for what's in the catch can. Got the old filter drained and wiped off, put in there so I can dispose of it properly. Now let's check this catch can. As you can see, I got my litter pan underneath the car just in case I'd happen to spill any. And if you look down from up here, you can see that it's completely covering underneath the car. So let's get this catch can off. Alright, this is the first time I've had this off. I was going to check it halfway through the oil cycle, but I didn't ever make it to 1,500 miles because, like I said, this car doesn't get driven that much. It might get driven 1,000 miles a year if I'm lucky, and I just never checked it, so I figured I'd wait till the first oil change. Here we are, first oil change. Well, this is really the second oil change, but it's the first oil change since putting this on. So all we gotta do is just grab it and turn it, and let's see what's in it. Will there be anything? Will there be a little? Will there be a lot? I don't know. Oh, there's definitely something in it. Look at there. Wow. It's not, I mean, it's a good bit, but it's not a lot. Just think, all this, let me explain it. What happens is, these new engines are direct port injection. In other words, the gas vapor gets sprayed directly into the port, and then the air goes in as the valves open, and that's where it actually mixes and atomizes, and it just works better that way. Get more power, better clean burn. But with that comes the increased possibility of stuff getting by, blow by, moisture from the vapors, from the burn process, all that stuff. So this is not all oil. You know, whenever you get one of these, don't think that this is all oil. But a lot of times it's just sulfur and condensation. Like I said, if you ever crank up your car in the mornings and watch it, you know, you'll have water coming out of your tailpipes. Well, same thing here. Your engine gets hot, it's been sitting overnight, it's cold, so it's going to build up condensation. And then whenever you burn or vaporize a liquid anyway, you're going to get some moisture residue from that. And what happens is, it goes back to your EGR system, which is exhaust gas recirculatory system. And what it does, it takes everything, puts it back up into the intake, and goes through to be burned again. Well, if you've got something that's putting out a lot of stuff, guess what? It's not all going to get burned. This is going to keep going around and around and around until finally something in the engine clogs up. And that's where these come into play. With an oil catch can, it catches all that stuff, so it keeps your valves cleaner, it keeps your intake runners cleaner, it keeps your whole entire engine just cleaner. Just think if you had all this stuff that you had to try to reburn. Now I'm going to hold you down here and we're going to see exactly what it looks like. I know it's going to look like oil, but yep, a lot of it's oil. Sure enough. But that wasn't a whole lot, as you can see. It's deceiving because the catch can is small. But there was some in there. As you can look down at the bottom, there's no gunk or buildup down there. It's just straight liquids. Whether it be water, whether it be oil. At least there's no metal, there's no gunk, no nothing like that. So we're good to go on that. I'm going to finish cleaning this out and we'll be right back. So as you can see, got it all cleaned out, just like brand new. I love this thing. And I had read a lot of articles about them. on the forums and everything. Some people are for them, some people are against them. You know how the internets are. So you have to use your own judgment. You have to kind of read in between the lines and find the truths and everything. But what I have found from just that, it works. I mean, just think, like I said, all that stuff goes back into your intake, and that's not good for your car. You don't want all that stuff back in there. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, stupid. But there's an O-ring that seals that, and you just run it up till it snugs, and then it's like a quick little twist. That O-ring will seal everything off. Now this particular one is a name brand one. It is made by Elite Engineering. They're not cheap. They're when I bought this one, I think it was $159, $129, somewhere in that range. It was over $100. We'll just say $140, that way we split the difference. But it comes with detailed instructions, and like I said, I'll put the link to where you can see how to install it. It's very simple. But it just goes in line. There's a little U-shaped hose up on your intake, up underneath your cover. Just a little U-shaped hose, and this goes in line, one out and one back in. And there's actually a baffle and a screen system inside this top that catches everything and allows it to fall down into the can and be taken out of the stream. Otherwise, it'd be going back into the intake, back in through there. Like I said, these things are great, and you get what you pay for. If you're going to get one, don't skimp on it. Don't buy one of those, and I normally don't say don't or do, but don't buy one of those cheap $10, $15 ones off eBay. They don't work. They'll catch some, but most of it will keep going back into the engine because there's no baffling system in it. There's no screens in it. It's just basically a wall. It comes in, hits a wall, and then it'll drip a little bit, and it gets sucked back out the other side after. Basically, here's what it does. It comes in one line, hits the wall. A little bit of the liquid will drop down in the bottom, and then the flow, the airstream will then go underneath that wall and back out the other side. So you're actually not catching all of it. But I'm gonna get the oil put back in this, and then we'll wrap it back up. Now I'm still up on the ramp, so I'm not gonna top it off, but the oil has steadily been draining into the filter, so it's not gonna be starting up dry like everybody's so scared of. It doesn't work that way. Everything still has oil in it from where the oil was in it before we drained it, and it's still draining down into the filter, filling it back up as we talk, you know, ever so slowly. But what I am going to do is it takes over 5 quarts, so I'm going to pour 5 quarts in it, then I'm going to push it down off the ramps, and then I'll top it off before I first fire it up. Alright, we got all the oil reclaimed, put the cap on it, wipe it off so when we haul it, we don't get oil all over everything. Wow, I got to tell you what, that's got to be a 25 to 35 mile an hour constant breeze out there. Holy moly. Can't do anything because of it, especially talk on a video. Ah, goodness. But anyhow, we're back in the car. We've got all of our old oil reclaimed. We're going to take that to the, I don't know if I'll take it to Advanced Auto or AutoZone. Normally AutoZone says, reefer. So I normally take it up to Advanced Auto. But the main thing is, we're turning it in. It could be recycled and reprocessed, and it's not endangering the environment any. We're not pouring it down drains. We're not pouring it out in the woods, and we're not burning it. But here we go. I'm going to show you how to reset the counter. The warning light, the warning reminder, oil reminder, whatever you want to call it. Here you go. I'm going to show you 2 ways of how to reset it. First, you switch it on. You don't crank it. You wait on everything to come on. Let me swap hands here. You're going to be looking up here. You're going to hit your menu button, right? And then once it goes to vehicle information, you're going to turn the dial and just keep turning it. There's coolant temperature, remaining oil life. Then you just press the end of the set clear button right here. Just press and hold that, and that'll reset it, okay? But I'm gonna show you a quicker, faster way to do it. Now this works on almost all GMs. All you do is the same thing, you switch it on, but as soon as you switch it on, you're going to slowly press the gas pedal down 3 times, all the way to the floor. Press it down and up, down and up, down and up. And what that is it's like a flood clear program or process in the computer. It clears out everything. So let's do it. I'll show you, and then we'll check it. Switch on, press once, press twice, press 3 times. Now let's go into the menu and see. Sorry for all the noise of moving around, but you know how it is. See, right there, remaining oil life, 100%. That's the quick, easy way to do it. That's the down and dirty way that most people don't know about. But that's, I'm sorry we're not still out in the yard where we could talk. I'd rather do that than sitting in the car. But with all that said, try to keep you out of the sunlight too. That's all there is to changing oil. It's very simple, and this isn't a how to change oil video anyway. This is the catch can oil change, but there's a couple things in there I wanted to show you, about the valvomax oil drain system and all that good stuff. But mainly it was about the oil catch can. It caught a lot. I mean, it wasn't this much. It was probably that much in the bottom of a can that tall. It's probably a third of the way full, and not quite 3,000 miles. So imagine if I went 3,000 or the recommended 5,000 with synthetic oil. That thing would have been half full, if not a little fuller. But that's what makes those so great. So if you're thinking about getting one, I strongly suggest them. I love mine. And we'll see you in the next video. I'm going to crank this bad boy up. We're going to take the oil and recycle it. So you get out there and enjoy yours, and I'll see you in the next video, Lord willing. Thank you so much for stopping by. The sound of success. Let's see if we got oil pressure. Yep, we got oil pressure. Everything's good to go. Oil pressure right there.